Hi, guys. Welcome back to Beyond the Bra. I'm your podcast host, Leah Wyrick, as well as the founder and CEO of Three Strands Recovery Wear. We're so glad you're back for this next episode, one that I am super excited about sharing with you all today. And, something that's taken me a little bit to write and get together. But I thought it was a fair podcast, something that I've wanted to do for a while and something that I really enjoy doing. And that's giving words of wisdom and advice to young entrepreneurs that were in my shoes or that will be in my shoes at some point in their future. And I started this company very, very early on in my life at 19 years old, and now I just turned 23, and I have feel sometimes like I'm 35 years old and I should have a lot more together than I do. And I'm realizing as I get older to give myself a little bit more grace these days. It's okay to not have all the answers. It's okay to not have everything together. But what is fair is to try to help the next generation of people, of entrepreneurs, young entrepreneurs that will go through some of the same difficulties and struggles and highs and lows that I have. And I think when I think back to that little girl that sat in her dorm room at 19 years old, struggling to understand a lot about what entrepreneurship is. Do I really want to do this with my life? Do I want to just be a regular college student? Um, I think about how helpful some advice from, someone that had been in my shoes before could have given me to expect, to just anticipate and the obstacles that I might face, the adversity that might come in the coming years, but also the really good things that could happen because of the hard work that you do. I think I would have listened to the hell of that podcast. So that's why I'm here today and wanted to share just a couple of, quick and simple lessons learned, and some examples from the past 4 years that I've been a young entrepreneur.
One of the first lessons that I learned very early on, and honestly one of the most important ones that I think every young entrepreneur should know, is you should let passion be your why. I created my business because I developed a huge passion after seeing firsthand the difficulties that my mom went through with breast cancer, and just seeing firsthand and being there every step of the way, realizing that this didn't just happen to my mom, this happens to millions of other people around the world. That's where that passion stemmed from. And I got so many questions that's been asked me over the years of like, why do you keep doing what you're doing? Why do you want to be a full-time business owner and a full-time student? And I always went back to my why of, if I don't do this, if I don't make and launch this product that I know that could help millions of other people and women around the world, just like my mom, then who will? And so that passion is what has fueled my drive and want to continue even on those really difficult days where I don't want to continue. And I've had to go through the difficult days where people have, tried to tear me down, or I've had to pay bills that I didn't have the money for, or it was just a really, really tough competition and you're gearing up for it and spending hours and hours of your time wondering if you might win this competition and get some money in the bank, and there's no guarantee. But there's always that passion and reason for why. And honestly, there's so many different reasons why you can become an entrepreneur, whether that's, it's within your family, a family business. Maybe you just want to be your own boss. Maybe you think that, in the outcome, you'll be able to make a lot of money. And all of those are fair reasons to become an entrepreneur. And, honestly, I hope for some of the same things one day. But, you can wish for all the money and all the fame in the world. But the only thing that's going to continuously continue to motivate you on those really difficult days, and I'm talking about, just the days where you no longer want to be an entrepreneur, the reason and the thing that is going to continue to motivate you constantly is the passion and the reason behind why you do what you do. And that has gotten me through the most difficult of times, I would say, for sure. And most importantly, you have to talk about your business consistently, and you have to be able to have that pitch nailed down, and you have to be able to talk about it on the fly 10, maybe 11 times in a day, in a week. And so being able to confidently talk about your business, talk about what fuels you, what direction you want to head in, and where you see your business going in the next 5 to 10 years from now is really, really important to have nailed down. And honestly, I would say I did not get to that point with my business until just a couple of months ago. And I've been doing my company for almost 4 years now. And I started to just now get extremely confident about where we are as a business because I started to develop more as a business owner, as a person, and truly start to understand the direction that I want to take my business in. And so it's not going to be easy, and it's going to take a good amount of time to figure all of those things out and to continuously be more confident in yourself and your business and your plans and in the people that you'll meet, because, they're not only investing in, the business, they're investing in you. And to show your passion, to show your drive and want to be successful, not only because there's a big reward at the end, and not only because there's a big reward, not only because you can help a lot of people, but because this is your baby, this is your dream. And this is what continues to motivate me on even the toughest of days. And so that has been one of the biggest lessons learned. The second biggest piece of advice that I could give to young entrepreneurs is believe and advocate for yourself. And if you can't believe in yourself at the moment, then you can find people that do. When I started my business, obviously still very, very young, and didn't have any idea that my company was what I wanted to do for the long term. I don't think anybody knows what they want to do for the long term at 19 years old, and you honestly shouldn't know and shouldn't have to know. That's just your time to kind of explore and figure that out. But, I had a chance to get into the startup lab where I really started to launch and scale my company. And at the point where I had gotten into this program, I had no idea what I wanted to do. I had plans to go to med school, or to go be a nurse, or go to PA school, and never had any intentions of creating a business. And so when I joined this program and I had this semester to do a deep dive into this product, into creating a company, I had two really influential mentors in this program that believed in me and saw something in me that I didn't, that I hadn't seen, early on, and they did see it in me. And I continued to find and seek out more people, more mentors, especially going in to Winston Starts, this accelerator-based program in Winston-Salem, where I was assigned two mentors to help work with me. And I still speak to those mentors today, 3 years later, 2.5, 3 years later, because those mentors, when I still didn't believe in myself quite yet in this company and having potential in this company to thrive, they saw something in me that I hadn't seen yet. And they wanted to invest their time in me. They wanted to invest time in my company because they saw that, and they saw something in me to continue driving their willingness to be a mentor. And so what I'm getting at is, when you don't necessarily believe in yourself, surround yourself with people who will and who do, and who are there to support you throughout every step of this difficult journey. Because of the mentors that I've had in my life, I have continually gotten more confident about who I am as a person, who I am as a business owner, and as a professional, because I've surrounded myself with the right people. And, you will be surrounded by a lot of mentors if you get in programs, especially as a student, because people are always wanting to jump on the opportunity to speak with students because we're very optimistic. We're very, just excited and eager, and we want to learn. So you'll hear from a lot of people, whether they're in your field or outside of your field. They have to do with financials or marketing, or IP law, anything like that. You'll deal with a lot. But, what I have also learned is you have to take everybody's piece of advice with a grain of salt. Because when you start to get advice from a lot of different people, you can start to change your mind about how you do things, and about your mission, about your vision, about your values of your company. But what I've learned to do is take that advice with a grain of salt, and to never, ever deviate from my true mission and values and goals for my company. And to give an example is, I've had many mentors before, and people and investors that have given me advice to raise the price of my product, because it is a premium product. It is something that you have not seen before. It's something that A lot of our competitors, they're selling, but I've really, again, thought about, well, why don't I raise the price? That's a really good idea. Obviously, it's a, win for me. I can make some more money. But when I think about the mission of my company, it is to provide financially accessible products to all of our patients, because these products, these crappy competitor products that are out there today, they are being sold for upwards of $120 per bra. And this product, this bra that women are wearing, should not be seen as a luxury item. It should be seen as a standard of care for every patient going through a breast surgery, breast cosmetic procedure, anything like that. It should be seen as a standard of care. And with that, and with the interactions that I've had with many breast cancer patients, across the country that I've spoken with over the last 4 years, cost can play a very big factor into how these patients recover. And it's always been a huge mission of mine to make sure that our products are financially accessible and to never deviate from that plan of being a huge goal of my company and who I am as a person. So always surround yourself with the right people. Take everything with a grain of salt. And while you have a lot of mentors that will be there to help you, you will also have some mentors that are there that are not looking out in your best interest. So being able to identify those really key mentors and investors that are there for you and want you to exceed is extremely important. And so you'll have to learn after time and time again, when you speak with these people and you have interactions with these people, you need to find those mentors that stand out to you as those that are looking out for your best interest. Because I promise you, they are not all doing that. I was lucky enough to find my amazing mentors so early on and develop those relationships with them. And so that takes me straight into our next piece of advice. Number 3. One of the last pieces of advice that I could give any of these entrepreneurs is life is all about relationships. Whenever I came to Wake Forest, I was only living 45 minutes down the road in Salisbury, North Carolina. So I did not move too far away from home when I decided to go to college at Wake. But in Salisbury, where I grew up, it was a very small town, and it was a place where a lot of people knew your name, and people were familiar with you. And so I knew that I wanted to be a part of a community where I could have that same relationship, where I could walk around in Winston and be a part of the community, and people knew who I was and I knew who they were, and they asked me about my business. And so, especially when I joined Winston Starts in downtown Winston-Salem, that accelerator-based program, I started to see that after about a year or 2 years, where I was running into people constantly and them knowing who I was and asking to get coffee and wanting to know how my business was doing. I started to find that community, and that was so, so important to me as an entrepreneur and as a student to become a member of the Winston-Salem community. And over time, I think that just continually grew because of the networking events that I continued to attend on a regular basis, being involved with Winston Starts, being involved with the Center for Creative Economy, with Greater Winston-Salem. I just fully, involved myself in this community because I knew that not only did I want to be a part of it, but they wanted me to be a part of it too, because they wanted to help me not only as a small business startup, but they wanted to help me as a student. They wanted me to get access to the publicity that I needed to help get me to where I am today. And I am just so thankful that I involved myself in that. And so making your life, if you want to be successful, and making your business, if you want to be successful, just a big part of who you are as a student and as a business owner, just being a part of these entrepreneurial ecosystems and the communities that you're in that desperately want to help you is a huge part to why you will be successful. I'll say that a lot of these people that you will meet in these networking events, you might not always have everything in common, and there might not be, anything that leads to them helping you or you helping them, but at least you made another connection. and you can continue to leverage those connections anywhere and everywhere that you go, because the more people that you talk to about your company, your business, your passion, your reason of why you do what you do, the more connections that will be made across the community that can continue to help you on your journey to be a successful business owner and a successful professional. A lot of the times I've learned that anyone and everyone don't necessarily, whether it's mentors, whether it's networking events where you meet random people or investors, not necessarily are they investing in your company. They're investing in you and the type of person that you are. And you want to be seen as someone that is continually involving themselves in their communities, people that take the advice of their mentors and use it for the good of their business and use that time to truly make a difference and to involve yourself in any way that you absolutely can. Life is all about relationships, and you have to continue living your life knowing that those relationships will take you anywhere that you need to go. And so not only is that true in your business life and your student life, but also in your professional life. Thank you guys for listening to my 3 biggest pieces of advice for young entrepreneurs. I hope that these pieces of advice that I've given, this is just a small portion of what I have learned, but it's a big part of the person that I've become, knowing these 3 pieces of advice that I wish that I could have known when I started this journey. And so I hope that you can get something from this, that you are able to take something away. And while I talked about the fact that this journey of being an entrepreneur and starting a business very early on is difficult, and you have to put in the work to find the right people, to find the right networks, to take everything with a grain of salt, and to continuously believe in yourself and advocate for yourself, that you will learn that there is so many amazing things that are yet to happen for you. And this is only the beginning. Work hard, find your drive, find your passion. You will have a lot of difficult times, but you will also have a lot of good times, that you meet the right people, that something successful happens for your business or for yourself. And just keep being an amazing, talented, driven entrepreneur that you are. And know that in the end, while some things will not work out and things don't happen for some reason, you are making an impact, whether that's with your product that you're helping millions of people around the world with. Maybe it's a service that you're helping others with. Maybe you're able to someday talk to other students about your journey. That is the most important thing. Keep doing what you're doing, keep pushing, keep driving. And as always, I am always here to help in any way possible, because I truly want to be able to give back the same way that people have given to me over the past couple of years. And that's the greatest gift that I could ever think of giving, is helping out the next generation. So thank you guys for listening to this podcast. Please tune in to our next podcast, where we are going to be interviewing a few new influencers that we will be working with in the coming months and years with 3 Strands Recovery Wear. Thanks so much, guys. Have a great day.